this is Jennifer from The Good Life, and welcome to my Q&A video. I was actually asked to do a Q&A from one of you subscribers, and I'm really excited to do it. I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I wanted to hit 100 subscribers first, and I've already reached my goal, and I'm so excited to share some wonderful information for you. So, I am in my car, and unfortunately it's the only place that's quiet for me to actually sit down and answer some of these questions. So this will be fun. So the very first question that I was asked was, how long have you been making Bucilla? I started making Bucilla stockings in the summer of 2013, and I decided to tackle 7 stockings. It was a huge project, and I did not finish until Christmas Eve. So I think I started my set of stockings like I think it was June or July of 2013, and I was a beginner. I did not know what I was doing. I basically just went on my instincts and learned a lot. During that time, I was actually searching YouTube for instructions on how to do certain things. And it's funny because I searched YouTube and I found very little help on YouTube, which was surprising to me, because you'd think more people would have done these kits and more people would have gone into detail about making these kits, and I found like maybe 1 or 2 people that have done parts of a stocking and not a full-blown, here's this, from the beginning to the very end of a stocking. And I thought, well, this niche needs to be filled. So, but at the time, that's what I was thinking. I never ever thought I would start a YouTube channel on doing these, but I digress. So I started back in 2013, and it was a huge project. It was very overwhelming, and I was basically just going on instinct, and I'm naturally crafty, I'm naturally artistic, and I thought, hey, I can do these and they would be a really great gift. And so by the time I finished them, I gave them as Christmas presents for my family. So my parents and 5 of my siblings that were still living at home all got brand new, beautiful Bucilla stockings for Christmas, and it was the best Christmas. I will remember that Christmas fondly, and my parents, my mother cried when she saw these stockings, and I cried because I was so happy that I was being appreciated for all the hard work. I worked so hard. I put in so many hours just to try to learn how to put these stockings together, and I basically did them by myself. So I learned a lot during that process, and I don't want anybody else going through that. It's a lot of work when you don't know what you're doing. So I thought, hey, if I ever get a chance, I'm gonna actually record me doing one of these stockings. So the very first stocking that I decided to record was my own, which I had fun doing. That was a lot of fun, and that was recorded last year. And I had so much fun making that video and editing it and putting it together that I wanted to do more, and I wanted to try another stocking. And so unfortunately, making these stockings is kind of a seasonal thing for me, but that's basically how long I've been making them for. So I'm pretty seasoned in making these stockings, and I have a lot to share, and I still have a lot to learn. This last stocking that I'm still doing, I'm using things that I haven't never used before. I've had to do techniques that are a little bit different, so it's nice to learn together also, and to show you how I figured it out. And even I would love even tips from you guys on how you do certain things or whatever. Really, I'm still learning too. So next question, what started you? Well, basically, back when I first had my first kid, Ryan, he was born in 2012 in November, and I just felt bad because that Christmas, I had no presents for anybody. I think I made a couple of things for my parents and my in-laws and sent out a whole bunch of Christmas cards, but I didn't make anything. I didn't get anybody anything because I was pregnant and I just had a baby. So I'm like, okay, next Christmas I have to make it up to my family. So I was like, okay, well, what could I do that could really show that I love my family and I want to, you know, really put some effort into this awesome gift. So I was just searching on the internet and asking around. I was asking around a lot, trying to figure out what's a really cool idea to do for a Christmas gift for my family. And a lot of ideas were shared, and for some reason I decided, oh, well, let's make something. I was going through a crochet phase. And I was making a bunch of crocheted stuff, but I was like, you know what? I made them a bunch of hats the year before. So I made them a bunch of hats and scarves and gloves the year before. And I was like, well, I want to do something a little different. Maybe same kind of crafty area, but not crochet. Because, you know, crochet, you can only do so much with crochet. So I looked around and I stumbled upon these really beautiful Bucilla stockings. And I'm like, you know what? I think I can do this. And I thought I could do this so much, I ordered 7. Yeah. I've never done one before at that point, and I did not know what I was getting myself into. It was definitely an awesome experience, though, and I learned a ton. I learned how to hand sew, which was kind of cool. And, you know, it's a skill that everybody should learn, to hand sew. Even if it's just to learn to sew a button on. That's handy, you know. So I went from crochet phase to Bucilla phase, and I made 7 that year. I ordered them all and I got them, and I started my first one in, I think it was either June or July of the summer of 2013, and I was working on them up until Christmas Eve, like even into a little bit of Christmas. I stayed up until after midnight trying to finish the last stocking. And then I was able to hang them up, and they were wonderfully displayed, and my parents loved them. So that's kind of what got me started, and the fact that, you know, like I said earlier, I searched all over YouTube just to get some help on how to put these things together, and I couldn't really find very many videos. So that's kind of what motivated me to start making some DIY videos, is to kind of give some more insight on the subject, because I know I'm not the only one that does Bucilla, because Bucilla, it's not just Christmas, they do other things too, but you know, for that group out there that loves to do these things, I wanted to share what I learned throughout that whole process. So I didn't make my first video until maybe a few years later. I recorded my first video, I think, not last year, but the year before. So like the middle of 2017, I made my first series of videos on my stocking. So that was pretty fun. And you know, when I started making these videos, and I noticed that I was having joy. I was happy about sharing what I've learned, and trying to show you what it looks like each step by step without being without repeating myself a lot. So I think the process of making these videos has really opened my eyes to the potential of the YouTube channel. And honestly, I didn't think it would go anywhere. So, I mean, I'm excited that I have as many subscribers as I do, and I'm hoping to still do these for you. Next question: how long does a kit take you? When you're starting off, I remember my first stocking, it took me about a month and a half. And I was working on them every day for easily 4 to 5 to maybe even 6 hours a day. Granted, I only had one child back then. But now, today, if I could tell you, I could probably finish one in about 4 weeks. Because I have learned methods, and I have organized myself better. And I have I can split up into sections and do section by section, and it won't take as long. Plus, I'm really good at multitasking, so most of my time I spend in the evenings making a stocking. So I could put in a good solid 4 or 5 hours. You know, kids go to bed at 8 o'clock. I can start a stocking at 9 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3 hours right there. And sometimes I can even start earlier. And sometimes I can get stuff done during the day, like nap time. You know, my oldest is at school, my middle one's watching TV. I can just put a bunch of like little, just sequin a bunch of pieces and put them in a little bag for later, and then stick them in the big bag. It's just super easy. So I would say it would take me now about 4 weeks. Next question, what makes you choose one to do? So all of the stockings that I've done so far have been either gifts or stockings for my family. That's how I choose them. So a lot of the stockings that I choose are stockings that I personally will be keeping, either for me and my family, or I will be giving them as gifts for family members. These last two that I have recorded for you guys, one was for me, obviously, because it was my stocking, and this one that I'm working on now is for Cameron. And luckily, I wasn't too keen on it being completely done by Christmas, because he's only 1, so he didn't get a stocking, and he doesn't care. He's like, whatever, as long as I have a piece of candy, I'm cool. So I haven't finished his yet, but you know, with all the holidays and everything, I decided to take a break and enjoy the new year with my family and Christmas, and take my time with this one, which is totally fine. You know, I mean, if I want to take my time, that's cool. Next year he will have his stocking for sure. My next project for Bucilla, I'm still deciding. I really would like to do a wreath this time around. Probably, I have a couple that I'm looking at that I want to do. They're kind of fall themed, so autumn themed, so I would want to start one. I mean, I want to get it done, so I'll probably want to start it at like March or April, maybe order it by March or April, and then have, you know, a couple months to do it, because I know that wreaths are a little bit bigger, and I've never done a wreath before, so I kind of want to do one just because I haven't done one, and I've heard they're really cool too. So apparently they take a lot of poster board, which now I have experience in, so that's pretty fun. So far, yeah, that's how I choose them, is basically if one of my family members wants one, or if I want one from my family or extended family, gift ideas. I kind of get inspired that way. I don't do them at random at all. And the next one I want to do will be for decoration purposes. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards a wreath, because I just want to do one, you know. There's a couple really cute ones out there. One of them is kind of a fall theme, and another one is kind of more Halloween-ish, more centered around Halloween. So I have to kind of decide, okay, which one do I want to do more? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I probably won't start that for a while. So up until then, I'll be kind of changing shifts for my videos, especially with the new year, and you know, it's in the middle of winter, Christmas is over. You know, what's next? What's next on the, you know, Jennifer Good channel? But we have a lot of things going on, and a lot of things that, you know, that are different, that are interesting, to say the least. I hope you guys appreciate me sharing with you. And I'm not just about stockings. I do a lot more things too. So that's how I choose one. Last question is, what are your plans for 2019? Okay, so this is a very broad and big question. We have a lot of things that we want to do and we want to accomplish in 2019 for the Good family. Currently, we are trying to find a place to live, basically. We were living with friends for a while, and due to the holiday, we decided, you know what, we're gonna stay temporarily in a hotel. So basically, we're living in a hotel right now. So that's fun. Right now, we're trying to find a piece of land to buy and build a house on it, or at least some type of modular home or something that's, you know, low key. My husband and I, we do not want to keep up with the Joneses. We financially can't. Most people financially can't keep up with the Joneses. So we have a little bit of a different approach, which isn't any different from my family's approach. I actually called them a while back and said, I need some pointers because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm looking for. So right now we're working with some people to find some land that'll be in our budget, and then we can, you know, bundle it all up with, you know, a manufactured home, and basically we'll be camping. We'll be camping out until our home is built. So that'll be fun. When that process starts, I'll definitely start doing some more blogging, because it's just an interesting process to go through, and I don't know how many of you guys have done this or know somebody that have done this, but I don't know very many people that just buy a piece of land and then live on it. I don't. Most of the time you go out and find an apartment for a year, wait until your house is built and then move in. Yeah, we can't even do that. That's how little we're making. We can't even make rent, because rent is so high. It's so high here in Utah County. It's ridiculous. We're trying to actually get out of this county because it's so expensive. And I think a lot of people in my situation are doing that too. So that's our big plans for 2019, is trying to find a place to live, you know. Definitely doing more videos, definitely trying to branch out and not just focus on this niche, but also focus on other things that I'm good at, you know, because I love doing these stockings. They're so fun to do, but that's not my only talent. I am a flute player. I'm a professional flute player. Look in my description box for my website. I'm actually going to change it a little bit because, you know, teaching lessons in person, like one-on-one, is becoming less and less popular. I haven't had a one-on-one lesson in person in over a few years now. Ever since I moved to Utah, I haven't had a face-to-face lesson with anybody because nobody wants to go and drive to somebody else's house. It's all done online. You know, I had 2 of my students graduate. Woo-hoo! That was exciting. Bittersweet though, because they're in college now. So I lost 2, and then my third one, she still lives in Washington, so she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna find a flute teacher over there and go to her. And I said, that's totally fine. You know, I was expecting it actually. And then I'm down to my one little student, and she's so great. I love her so much. She's wonderful. She's a high school student. But it's just sucky because I have to actually make the time to physically put in an hour for each student. And if I have 5-10 students, that's 10 hours a week, you know, that I have to negotiate with my family and everything else and all these other things we're doing. So it actually makes sense why people are leaning towards going online for lessons. So another big thing for 2019 is I want to start making flute courses on my website. So if you know anybody, pass on my website, because I would love to start making courses for people to take, and they'll be very, you know, inexpensive and convenient. So that's on the agenda. I'm hoping that I actually finished a resolution that I made last year. I did make a resolution video last year. One of the resolutions that I finally got was I did lose a bunch of weight, so that's a good thing. Yay! I'm down to size 8 in pants, which is a miracle. So I'm really excited about that. That was like the one resolution that I actually got. Of course, I'm eating healthier, yes, but you know, I could do more, eat more healthy. But you know, given our current situation, it is a little bit harder. We have to kind of live like like college kids at the moment, trying to keep things on the cheaper end, you know, and still be healthy. So that's a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of a struggle. But yeah, so those are our big plans. I'm hoping this whole land and housing thing works out, and I'm hoping to share that with you guys, our steps, you know, just check in every week or so and tell you how things are going, and that's kind of what's going on for videos and how my channel is growing. And I'm so excited that my channel is growing. I'm happy. I'm very happy and very pleased that that you guys are enjoying my content, and it's providing helpful information, and hopefully it'll keep going. I'm hoping I'm hoping you guys will stick around. So, any other questions that you have, I would love to hear them. Post them in the comments below. If you like my channel, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and appreciate all of the things, all of the comments, all the good vibes that I'm getting from you guys. And I'm hoping to have a lot more success this year. I'm hoping this year is a lot nicer than last year. So I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!